All right, what up everyone? It's Matt with Urban Surf here, and we're back again today with the Starboard Gen R. This is a new board for Starboard, and I'm super fired up about it. So we know that Starboard has the Sprint and it has the All-Star. The Sprint, more of flat water only, super fast board, while the All-Star is kind of more of that open ocean, great for downwinding, paddling, and racing in choppy conditions while still maintaining speed and stability. We've always done very well with the Starboard All-Star, but you know, it's kind of gone more specific to kind of like a big open ocean board, kind of like the Ace used to be. Now, what we have here is we have a really good blend of both of these boards. So the Gen R takes a lot of the kind of like the, I would say the front, middle to front of the Sprint, where it has more of the back to tail of the All-Star, of the older All-Star, I should say. And what it does is it makes it really fast, great acceleration, great stability overall, but still able to handle those choppy conditions and surf. Also kind of in that downwinding range as well. So a couple of the features that they did to make this happen was they lowered the rocker profile overall, giving it really quick acceleration. And they also took a little bit of that volume out of the nose as well, kind of giving it a little bit more of a rounded rail, so it makes it fairly maneuverable when you're surfing. But the slicing nose on this thing dives in and it wants to just get on the line and go when you're going through the sprints. They didn't recess the deck quite as much on this one, so it has a little bit of a recess to it, but nothing like the Sprint or the All-Star has now. So the thing that I noticed when jumping on this board was I had a lot of comfort moving around on this thing. I mean, I could get back to the tail pretty quickly. There wasn't the slope like some of the new Sprints and All-Stars have, so it felt really manageable to get back to the tail on this very quickly. But then I also noticed, due to its rocker profile, I didn't have to get back as far to get a quick buoy turn in. So I could get back maybe, you know, not quite to the red portion of the deck pad here, and feel like I could swing that nose around pretty quickly, which makes then the recovery on the other side of that really nice as well. You could get back up to your starting or to your paddling position very easily, and then get right back on the train. So this board, you know, I think for most of our conditions is going to be a great, you know, rough to flat water board. It's going to be great if you want to get into downwinding or if you're experiencing any like decent surf. But man, it's going to be quick on those short course races, something where there's a lot of buoy turns, something that, you know, we do a lot in our races here. Very comfortable when maneuvering it around, and you know, if you start to get into like the race start where there's a lot of white water and a lot of chop kind of around, you're going to notice that you're going to have a lot of stability with this. All right, so this year the Gen R is definitely one of the first boards that's going to come with a 10-inch fin box, so that you can upgrade or change your fins out to other manufacturers' fins pretty easily. With the 8-inch box, it was a little bit of a challenge to try to figure out what fins might go in there. But now with the 10-inch box, it kind of opens up that world quite a bit for you. But you might not need to change it because it does come with this new flash. You know, this is a pre-preg carbon. It's super lightweight. It has a great shape to it overall. And this is what's going to come with all of the Gen Rs, the flash here. So they just have the one drain hole, and you can see that the exit port is going to be right in the middle of the board here. The deck again is not super recessed on this, so they're not going to need a lot of drain holes on this one. But the other thing that I noticed when looking at this is it's a very flat bottom. You know, there's not a lot of channeling on this at all. Maybe just a little bit towards the tail, but you know, from that midsection forward, you're noticing that it is very flat overall, and that's going to help a lot with that acceleration. So getting out of a buoy turn, you know, getting started, you know, these things are going to, you know, help you quite a bit to get up to that main speed or that top speed, so that you can maintain that, you know, quite a bit easier and not put all your energy into getting the board up to speed. You can kind of see that your rounded rail is going to start to harden out here towards the midsection, But I mean, just looking at that, it makes me think that I can get through most choppy conditions and the board's not going to get pushed around too much. So I really like that, that aspect of it. Okay, so then when we move back towards the tail, you're going to notice, just like on the older All-Stars, they kept this tail nice and wide. So this new wide tail on this Gen R is going to help you maintain a lot of stability and allow you to get a little bit farther back and not feel like you're as likely to fall, honestly, especially when you're racing around a bunch of different people. This is going to maintain that stability for you so that you can, get back there, do your turn, and get out of it pretty quickly. I think that, with these sort of features, I feel like the potential for getting into more downwinding and maybe even, getting into some waves kind of opens up the door quite a bit. So this new model is going to come in a bunch of different sizes, 21 and a half, 23, 25, 27, and in 29. For the 27 and the 29-inch wide, they will offer some bungee tie downs in the front for as more of a touring board overall, but still very aggressive when racing. All right, so that wraps up some of the main features of the new Starboard Gen R. If you want to chat more about this, give us a call at the shop or come down and check it out. We've got one available to try. We'll see you on the water. Phew.